Well, hey everybody. Today I'll be doing a review for the high-grade Build Fighters Mega Shiki. And just by starting it off, this is such a fun high-grade kit to put together. I, over the years, never really cared much for high grades, but a lot of the new ones coming out are just such a blast. So I totally recommend it if you guys were thinking about it. But anyways, this is what the kit animated anyways would look like when assembled. We see it's got a kind of a purple color for the main body. It has kind of a lighter purple for some of these spots, and then a little bit of white, and just some dark colors obviously for the joints and the weapons and thrusters. One cool thing that these build fighter kits do on the instruction manuals I like is they show you what they call up here like the customized plan, and it's basically how this design came about, or what the theme was. And so you see that the material gunpla right here is the high-grade Delta Gundam, and then it took themes from Virtue, and I want to say that's Dove and Wolf, but I don't remember off the top of my head. If I'm wrong, someone let me know. But taking those themes, we came up with something like this, and it looks really cool when it's all assembled and all put together. And as far as accessories, we've got the Mega Ride Launcher up here. It also doubles as the backpack, and not much else. It comes with a beam rifle, the beam saber, which is in the katana style instead of just a round blade, and some little head Vulcans there. But anyways, I'm showing it to you on this because I've already painted mine, and I wanted to show you my custom color scheme. Now, I'll just show it to you first and then explain it. This is my custom color scheme, and I decided to do it based on Delta Plus. Now, it's not 100% just like Delta Plus, but I think the blue is a little lighter and the gray is a little lighter, and there's no white anywhere on it, which thinking about it now might have been a good idea, but I like it just the way it is. So that's how I decided to do mine. So I'll just kind of show you some of the notable points of articulation here, and just kind of what the kit looks like. So let's take off the Mega Ride Launcher first. It just pegs on the back with these 3 pegs. It's different, I guess, from pegging in a normal connection, just because they're loose, so you kind of have to make sure you get those pins lined up just so. But set that aside for the time being. And this is the Mega Shiki just by itself. We get a nicely little detailed gun here. Because this is based on Delta Gundam, it is the same gun that you would get with it. And I just kind of painted it, added a little bit of brown there for that. And I think that came out all right. And can just slide the gun out. The gun by itself doesn't really have a lot of articulation. You can move the handle, which is kind of left over from the transformation features on Delta, which this guy doesn't have. The kit itself is, I think, nicely detailed. Obviously, you can see that it is Hyaku Shiki inspired. Hyaku Shiki, I've said it before in one of my older reviews, but Hyaku Shiki is my favorite design, and I love it. So any kit based on that, I definitely want to get. So the head has a little bit of play, pretty much what we'd expect in just about any kit. It doesn't go all the way around. I think you can kind of wrench on it if you want to, but it just kind of has all of your basic movements. One thing I do really like about this kit that's a little bit different is the addition of these I'm just calling them like gauntlets here on the side of the wrists. It's basically the normal arm that we get, and then there's this added piece of armor added to the side, and I think it ends up making the arms, you know, stand out and look pretty cool. We can kind of peel it back like that if you want to get a little more posability out of it if you want, or you can leave it closed down like that, which I kind of like. One nice thing you get on this kit is if we look here in the back, it comes with a separate piece of plastic for the back skirt armor, so if you want to paint it one color and then have the back color a separate one, you can. Again, that does come purple, and that piece in the back does come black, so it's already going to look like that, but it just kind of makes it nice while you're painting. And then again, because it's based on a kit that is supposed to transform, it has really good articulation in the knees, and I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just overall a very fun kit to put together. It looks really nice when completed. And if we take a look real quick at the Mega Ride launcher, this is what it's going to look like in its backpack form. Right up here, we've got our beam saber handles where they're stored, and those just come off like so. And the beam sabers, like I said, are kind of these katana style ones, and I think they look nice. I think that if they started doing them a lot more than they should, I probably wouldn't like them very much, but as long as, you know, they kind of do it here and there, I think it'll be good. So looks very nice. Now the Mega Ride launcher is kind of a fun thing because it has a couple of gimmicks. We've seen them in the show already, but can show you how that translates into a model kit. So again, the first feature here obviously is it being a backpack. Now what you can do from here is pop the wings out like so, and then just reattach them in like that. I could definitely see on a master grade this would just be on a joint, but you know, on high grades we kind of have limitations on what we can do, so no use getting too upset about it. But you can have it molded like that. You can have the wings pop out if you want, and then down here, let me find it real quick, are our feet, and you can pop these out and you just move them up here, and I think I put that one in the wrong spot. And there's a handle right here that'll flip down or come out depending on how much pressure you apply. And if you want to, you could have this displayed in such a way where he's actually holding onto the handle. I won't set it up that way just because it's kind of a hassle, but in the show there's a scene where he's kind of holding onto it like that and it's pulling him. So that's a scene you could recreate if you want. Or you can do the full-on launcher mode, which you would just take it from here and you can extend this piece. It just comes up. Like so. And then these pieces, if I remember how to do this, let's see, these twist down, that twists down. These pieces, I think, go like this. I want to say. And then right here, these handles pop up. Okay. And then it would end up looking something like that. And let me just get that attached real quick. All right, and here we can see him posed with it in its firing mode. And yes, without an action base, you can have him stand like this. It's a little tricky. He kind of has to be leaning back a little bit to hold it that way. So definitely, if you're going to have it in some kind of pose like this, it's certainly worth investing in a stand. I actually got one that I think will do the job nicely. But yeah, if you don't want to have one, you can certainly maybe just have him displayed something like this up on your shelf. And he should be able to hold that pose for a while. I'm not going to say forever, just because I'm kind of stretching it at this point. But, you know, just overall, I think that the detail just really makes this kit awesome. The Mega Ride Launcher, which, by the way, I didn't realize this until just a little bit ago, but the Mega Ride Launcher is actually based on I think something just called the Mega Rider, or the Mega Launcher, I forget what it's called. But it was actually in, I think, the series Zeta Gundam. And it kind of looked like a, basically it looked like this except without the wings. And they just kind of did a little modification on that to add the wings on the backpack for that. And it came out looking pretty cool. So it's certainly a fun kit. It's definitely, I think, well worth the money. I think it retails for, I think it's right around 20 bucks if you get it like from HobbyLink Japan. And it's well spent. Money well spent, I think. So that molded back. The only thing I don't really care about are these feet. I just kind of feel like, I mean, I like that they're there. They're used for support, obviously, when it's being pressed up against the main body. And they look fine right there. I just kind of don't like having to pull stuff off and reattach it later. It's just never been my thing. And now this is fighting me. Goes like that. Well, in conclusion, I have to say that it's been an enjoyable build. The kit's very fun to paint. It's really easy to paint. There's not a lot of seam lines that you have to worry about. Just a couple, like on the sides of the head and on the arms, but really not that much. They're obviously the gun, if you've ever built a high-grade kit, most of the guns come cut in half, so you have to worry about that. But, you know, after you get them filled and sanded down, it looks pretty good. My only recommendation would be that if you are going to buy this kit, again, to invest in some kind of stand for it. On HobbyLink Japan, if you just do a search for stands, I actually picked up a couple of these, and I think they come in a these don't come in a 3-pack. I picked up some others that come in a 3-pack. But that one's kind of nice. It's clear. If the kit was a little bit lighter, you could actually pose them up in the air with it if you want. It's really nice, especially if you've got back heavy kits that you want to you know, have displayed just standing up. And he can, it comes on this round base down here. He can just stand on that. And the last thing I want to say before this review is over, I forgot to mention that it does come with some extra hands. You've got 2 open hands and 2 closed fists. The other thing is, one of the reasons why I like this kit is it comes from Build Fighters Try, which is all about, you know, it's encouraging you to customize your kits and to, you know, maybe swap parts and do different stuff like that. So it's kind of nice that because this came from high-grade Delta Gundam, you get a lot of extra parts that you can use. You don't get enough to turn this into high-grade Delta Gundam, which you wouldn't want to anyways, but you get a lot of extra pieces. I mean, I think you even get, you get Delta Gundam's head right here, all the pieces for that. You've got most of the pieces for this big shield. You've got, I think, skirt armor pieces. We've got shoulder pieces. So if you want to start getting into like customizing your own kits, you can do a lot with this. You know, and you certainly don't have to build it according to the instructions. You can maybe put some of Delta Gundam's pieces back on it, or you can save these pieces for some other kit you choose to build in the future. So I think that'll do it for this review. I've said it I know 100 times already, but this has got to be one of my favorite high-grade kits I've ever assembled. So if you were thinking about it, I highly recommend you buy it. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you for my next project.